Now, do you think the Mediterranean diet may be for you? My name is Nija. I'm a registered dietitian, and it is a new year, and everybody wants to start a new diet. Let's talk about the Mediterranean diet. It has been viewed in like every research, has benefits for every type of lifestyle, and is considered one of the healthiest diets. Let's see if it's for you. So if you went to the doctor and they're like, you have high blood pressure, you need to lose weight, diabetes out of whack, they're usually like, oh, do the Mediterranean diet. And you're like, what the heck is the Mediterranean diet? I'm from Ohio. I don't know what you're talking about. Let me help you. First, let's talk about what is the Mediterranean diet and where it even came from. So, the Mediterranean diet follows cuisine from the countries near the Mediterranean Sea. So, that's going to be like France, Spain, Italy, and Greece, right? Research had followed along because they're like, hey, these people are living healthier, longer lives. What are they doing? And we looked at their diet and activity and said, hey, there's some benefits that everyone can use, and that's where the Mediterranean diet came from. So let's get into some of the basics, the guidelines. I'm just gonna give it to you in general terms, and then if you follow this series, I'm gonna break it down for you so that way you can follow some of these trends at home. Now, I want to let y'all know right now I am pregnant. So if you say, "Hey, lady, why you sound out of breath? What's going on?" I'm pregnant, okay? So don't y'all judge me. So let's get into it. So the Mediterranean diet is gonna encourage you to have more fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts and seeds, and healthy fats. Now, if you're not sure what any of those categories mean, don't worry about it. Like I said, I'm gonna break it down for you. We want you to consume less, and I love saying consume less, not avoid. So this means you can still have them, but let's reduce them a little bit. Processed foods, added sugar, and refined grains, and then you want to limit alcohol. So when it comes to the Mediterranean diet, they do include alcohol, specifically red wine, but we want you to still limit that. And we talk about limit, the goal is to maybe not to have every day or to look at your portion. Research indicates that following a Mediterranean diet can help promote weight loss or weight maintenance, prevent things such as heart attacks, strokes, and type 2 diabetes. Also reduce the risk of premature death. Also help delay cognitive delays, so things such as dementia, Alzheimer's. This is what research is showing when it comes to the Mediterranean diet. Some other things to look at. I want to break down a little bit more on eating. So a lot of times they do eating in a family style or shared way. So again, having things out, taking portions of it, so that way you're not eating a lot of the meals. And I'm from the U.S. So a lot of the meals that we have are really large, right? We could share them. So a lot of meal sharing, a lot of plant-based meals, and a lot of meals actually taking time, sitting at a dinner table with not a lot of distractions. So these are some of the big guidelines that I wanted to start off with when we talk about the Mediterranean diet. Let's get into a little bit more. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know where I left off. But let's talk about foods to limit. I love using the term limit, and that's what they use in research instead of avoid because it doesn't mean you can never have it, right? The goal is just to limit. We don't want you to have it every day, pretty much, or maybe limit the amount. So the first thing is added sugar. So added sugar is found in many foods. And when we talk about sugar, I want to hit on that added. So we're not talking about fruit, right? Fruits, if it's just a fresh piece of fruit, has sugar but not added sugar. But let's talk about canned fruit has added sugar, or fruit juice has added sugar. Most of the time, you can find some without. So the things that are going to be high in that are going to be your pop. I'm from the Midwest, so I say pop or soda. I think some people say Coke, candies, ice cream, table sugar, so like adding sugar to things, syrup, and baked goods. These are going to be your added sugar. So again, we want to limit, does not mean to avoid. Refined grains, so that's going to be a lot of your white bread, pasta, tortillas, chips, crackers. Again, we can still have them. The goal is to limit the portion or see if you can find a whole grain option. So one thing I love about whole grains is that, especially now, the way our grocery stores, you can pretty much find anything in whole grains, just whole grain pasta, bread, cookies, like you can find whole grains. But again, if you like the white, more refined, just limit. Don't avoid, just limit. Trans fat. Now, in the U.S., we remove trans fat for most processed things, so you should not see trans fat on anything. If you do, now, y'all, why did that just happen? I don't. This is gonna be an interesting video, but in the U.S., that should be gone. I don't know why that just happened. I don't know. We go keep going through it. Processed meat, your sausages, hot dogs, deli meat, beef jerky. Again, we want to be mindful of that. Why? Because that process takes a lot of that nutrients out. Also, because we're adding a lot of fat and sodium, and these are things that we find that are going to increase, right? Blood pressure, our weight, blood sugar levels. So these are things that we want to be mindful of when it comes to limiting. Highly processed food. Our highly processed food are going to be in the families such as fast food, restaurant. That's DoorDash. Because, and I have to say that because sometimes I'll say fast food and people say, I don't eat fast food, but then they DoorDash. Like, DoorDash, convenience meals, microwave popcorn, some of the granola bars, candy bars, these are going to be more of your highly processed foods. So again, that just means that they went through a process and it might not have been bad to stay on the shelf a little bit longer. So people will say, well, why do we have these processed items? Well, because we can keep them a long time. If you have fruits and vegetables, as you know, they go bad. Your fresh meats, grains, they go bad really fast. The bonus of the highly processed things is that they have a longer shelf life. They're convenient, right? That's the big thing about convenience. Fast food, you can run through, although not that fast. Instead of you taking the time to cook and make things, you can run through a drive-through line or you can DoorDash food your way. So those are where that convenience comes into play with that. When along the same line, let's talk about some beverages. So we want you to include water. Coffee and tea are also suitable, but limiting sugar. A moderate amount, like I said, of red wine, because research shows benefits. So I know you're like, why do you keep saying red wine? It's not because I am the red wine person. It's because the research shows that is what, there are some benefits from having red wine. Fresh juices without added sugar. So if you like to juice, I love to juice. If you like to juice, you're juicing that fresh fruit. You're not adding any added sugar. We do want to limit beer and liquor. Again, limit doesn't mean you can never have it. We talked about our sugary drinks, our sodas, and any fruit juices that have added sugar. Apple, orange juice. Now there's a mixture of everything. Lemonade, strawberry lemonade. All of those things have added sugar. So these are kind of the guidelines when it comes to the Mediterranean diet. So I hope that helps with just going over the guidelines. The potential benefits of the Mediterranean diet and why I'm even starting this series is weight loss. A lot of people want weight loss. They're trying, it's the new year, they're trying to do the extreme diets, and we don't want you to do that. Let's try something like the Mediterranean diet. Also promotes heart health. So when we talk about heart health, our goal is to reduce sodium and fat in your diet. And the Mediterranean diet does a great job of doing that. So that's something else that we like to look at. Supporting your blood sugar levels. So if our heart health is not doing good, blood pressure's up, our blood sugar levels rise as well. We find that when we manage those with a healthy diet, we're doing good, right? We can do it for a longer line. Also, brain function. I talked about that in the beginning. I do a research group to help delay cognitive delay in those. And a lot of the things that we have been following are the mind diet. And let me know if you guys want to know more information about that. And that includes the Mediterranean diet. We see that there are some benefits that the Mediterranean diet provides that help with delaying any cognitive delay. So again, these are the big guidelines of the Mediterranean diet. Oh, anti-inflammatory. Love doing things that are anti-inflammatory. That helps reduce risk of any type of inflammatory diseases. So when we talk about autoimmune disease, we talk about things such as cancer. Those are going to be in there. So I went over these guidelines right here. I know this might seem a lot. Make sure you save this and share just to kind of review those guidelines. Now we're going to break down each part so you can figure out how you can do this at home with your own food and your own groceries. I hope this helps. Like, comment, and share because you know I got you guys. Oh, if you guys like quick recipes, I post a lot of that on my TikTok and Instagram, so make sure you follow me. Bye, guys.